Hello you guys, welcome to another video, and in this video we'll do another Python project to help you get familiar with the language and sharpen your skills. So in this video we will be making a simple calculator. Now for those of you that don't know, a simple calculator is a calculator that can calculate multiplication, division, subtraction, and addition. And that's what we will make today. Before we get started, I ask that you like, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications. All of this supports me, helps me out, and yeah, let's get into it. So I have my project over here, the calculator project, and there are a few elements that we need to make this simple calculator. We will first need input from the user. This will be number 1 and number 2. So we'll use these numbers to craft our project. Next, we will need the actual mechanisms, the actual code to calculate these numbers, and then we need to print them out. So let's get started. So first, number 1 is going to be int. Make sure we have to use int input because this is going to be an integer. Input. What is the first number? And then they can input their number there. Then we'll need our second number, number 2, int input. What is the second number? Alright, so now we have our inputs for crafting our calculator. So in these different languages, there are already functions like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division that will find the quantities. So let's just use that. So say, oh, well, I forgot to tell you this, but we first also need to find what operation they want to use. So in this, we have a few options. We could ask, do you want to multiply? If they say no, we can bounce ahead. Do you want to divide? No. Do you want to add? No. Do you want to subtract? Yes. But is that effective? Like, wouldn't that be a lot more input and a lot more coding? So instead, I thought that maybe we could try something different. In this scenario, we could say if multiplication, like for example, if they say they want to multiply, then type in 1. If they want to divide, type in 2. If they want to subtract, type in 3. If they want to add, type in 4. This way, whatever they type in, we can immediately go to that operation. So let's craft that. So we can write operation is equal to, this time we don't need to use integer input because we can just see that we could just say if this string is equal to this string. We don't need the actual integer. So input is equal to what operation would you like to use? Then we have to give them, okay, addition is equal to 1. Subtraction is equal to 2. Multiplication is equal to 3. Oh, shoot, I spelled it wrong. And finally, division. Oh, make sure it's in our quotation marks. Division is equal to 4. So there we have it. So now we have to write if operation is equal to 1. Then we have some code here. Then we can just write, and to write text that is not part of the code, use the hashtag symbol. You can say this is addition. If, else if, which is elif, operation is equal to 2, then this is subtraction. Elif operation is equal to 3. We can say this is multiplication. Oh, oops. Multiplication. Else if operation is equal to 4. This is division. And if it's not any of these, then it is a user error. And that means that we have to write else. We can print invalid input. So let's start. So if operation is equal to 1, then we need to add. So we can say number 1 plus number 2. No. Sum is equal to number 1 plus number 2. Now, if you had seen my earlier videos, I mentioned that variables have to be named something that is not already a function in Python. So here, sum is a function in Python, so we have to change this. So we could say total. Is equal to number 1 plus number 2. Here, subtraction, we could say subtracted is equal to number 1 minus number 2. For multiplication, we could say multiplied is equal to number 1 times number 2. And then finally, for division, we could say quotient is equal to number 1 divided by number 2. Alright, well, we have this down. So now we have finished the first 2 steps, and we only have to print our final output. So our final output is, we're going to use the print statement. So print number 1 plus number 2 is equal to, and then outside we could say comma or plus. We'll say plus here, total. Here we can say print number 1 minus number 2 is equal to subtracted. Here we could say, or actually it might be easier to just copy this, but we could say print number 1 times number 2 is equal to the multiplied variable. And then finally, we write over here, we can paste this again, print number 1 divided by number 2 is quotient. Oh, quotient. There, we're done. So this should work. No. Alright, so this is a common error, but remember we are comparing these two, so we have to write two equal signs in when we're writing these else if statements. So let's remember to do that. There we go. Ooh. So now we run this. What is the first number? Say 7. What is the second number? Let's say 8. So we want to multiply. So let's say 3. And it got it. Number 1 times number 2 is equal to 56. Now this is a little trippy, but this is division is equal to 4. That's why it came out like that. We should write, we should put this space so now they know to input their answer there. So we got it. 7 times 8 is 56. Now one way we could change this code is instead of saying number 1 and number 2 in these places, we could actually write, we can do it this way. Number 1 plus number 2. Now, the reason I'm saying to do this is because they can actually see then what number they inputted, just to make sure that the program is actually reading the number they inputted. So, we can change these to number 1, number 2, equal, plus total. So why don't we do this everywhere? And the subtraction one, then we can do it on the multiplication one. I'm just putting the quotation marks around the operation and removing them from the from number 1 and number 2 because now this is the variable's name, so we can just put that in. We also have to remember to put the comma here, otherwise it will not print and it will return an error. So putting our comma here, and we only have division left. Okay, that looks pretty good. We can't forget our commas. Ooh. And let's run this. Ooh, invalid syntax. In line 9. What is the problem here? Okay, it seems that we had forgotten to put many of the commas in between our print statements when we were converting them to the actual numbers. So went back, did that, make sure you have them in every line, just review them, and that should work. What is your first number? 10. What is your second number? 2. Let's say we want to divide. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Perfect. Okay, that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe. More of these videos will come soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.